Well, hello.
Oh, yes.
So are you guys, we're going to kind of go over what we went over last week, like how, how much of it do you remember, is a good bit of it. You're pretty smart.
I think so.
Think so. Yeah, so welcome to meditation and satsang. So they've been familiarized with the technique, but you haven't yet. So the way to do this meditation is to sit as you are, but you would have your back straight. Because if we think about it, the centers and the kundalini is all along the spine. So when we engage in meditative practice, we really want to make sure that the spine is straight. All technology, if you think about it, like Wi-Fi, wireless communication, all that is it's modeled after telepathy and the interaction of this technology inside of us. And meditation is the way to kind of unlock that. Because what's going to happen during the process over the course is that you get a lot of movement. A person looks really still, but there's a lot going on in there usually. Especially in the beginning, because you feel a lot of rocking, moving, as the consciousness is shaking loose, as the centers are clearing, all that gunk, emotional trauma, past life karma, and these things. It's like the consciousness shakes loose and works its way up to here, to here. So that's the mechanics of what goes on. Sitting with the spine straight, I recommend doing this simple mudra because it's natural and comfortable. It locks your energy into a circuit. So because meditation's being with self. This is open, this is open to knowledge, but also
Whatever else.
yeah. And the different mudras mean different things, and you can kind of look at them and break it down scientifically. Like, oh, what is this doing? This is one of my favorite. If I'm moving something in myself to cause action, because that's how magic is actually working. Then I'll use this mudra, which is here, and it's called Vajra Mudra. And it's like the thunderbolt. Snap. Explosion. So sitting with that posture, then you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Don't try to control your breath. Just breathe at a comfortable, natural pace. And this meditation is a little different than, going out and doing different types of meditation, because it's very simple. And the purer the method of meditation, the more of a direct path. You're cutting away the tools of relying on this and that, having to chant this and that. You're chanting, how's the mind not working? You're speaking, you're thinking of what to say. So just breathing comfortably. And what you're going to do is you're going to see your breath at this point and watch it. That's it. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And thoughts, especially at first, they're going to come up racing left and right. And so that's just going to be an issue. It takes time. You're not going to sit down and just zen out. It's a practice. Because we're so conditioned to just go, mind. This thing, everything that's not here. So it's hard for many people to sit down with themselves in silence. It's difficult at first, but it's worth it. It takes about 10 years on average, they say, to master, to really get the manifestative effects. And I mean, really, when you go a few years into this journey, things change. I mean, you kind of do, in a way, get superpowers. And it's just awareness. You'll see things more, because all of our third eyes are kind of blinking. But most people, even if they can see things, the third eye isn't yet open. And that, occurrence. Sometimes it can be spontaneously opened through trauma or just a moment of realization, because sitting down and meditating, you come into realizations, and those happen in instances, you know, but it takes a lifetime of unlearning or instances to bring about that one instance. And that's how you do it. And usually that, and how have you been, what's been going on with your practice over the last week? 2 weeks now. You should be moving up to 10 minutes a day in the morning and at night now.
I've only been getting in about 10 minutes, maybe 15 yesterday, but like once a day. I've been trying to do it in the evenings.
Good. That's a really good practice starting.
Yeah, I really haven't gotten around to it in the daytime, but
Yeah.
I try to find like where I can get quiet, find a little peace, because it really helps if it's quiet.
Yeah, it does. At
Music
first,
and other people's voices and things like that distract me.
eventually you'll get to where you can meditate. And like, I've meditated in the middle of a busy airport.
I've done it at work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just go into the bathroom and just like, okay.
Right.
Just for 2 or 3 minutes. Just.
And how has your practice been going?
I haven't been doing it morning and night. I've been doing it
Throughout the day? Okay,
yes.
That's good.
At work.
Mm-hmm.
When I feel, okay. And
Yeah.
I'll disappear and I'll go into the bathroom and I'll just sit there. I'll sit on the toilet.
Yep. I got a bathroom break
And,
in 2 to 3 minutes.
And I'll just, for 3 or 4 minutes, and I'll just.
It's helping though. It's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
It's helping me to keep my anxiety level down.
Yes. And it's only been 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Just imagine.
I am
Because I've been
more.
feeding off of her, because my anxiety levels
Right.
up here, and she's been so, I don't know how to put it, but just
Different.
Reborn.
peaceful and reassuring.
I'm reborn.
Very reassuring, in the
I'm
in
reborn.
That's
I really am.
beautiful.
in the face of all this adversity that's been going on. She's been able to calm me down.
Oh.
I'm more on an even
And
manifesting.
because
as I
normally,
come.
Exactly. Remember, I did your design, and you're a manifester, so your thing is anger. You got to avoid that, because when you're angry, you are bringing black magic into you, because or not black, but the anger. You're bringing things to be angry about. It's a destructive force. But when you're at peace, because of that manifestative quality, it's like sowing this, and that's how magic really works. It's not so much, I'm gonna do this thing on this altar, and make these motions. Those are just focal points. Like people that are really, really seriously ADD, a mantra, a Japmala meditation might be good for them to begin with, just to get their, like we talked about, circling or counting the breath, just to get the mind focused on one thing. But when you are at that peace and that state in meditation, that theta wave, that's when the magic happens. You know how all the books talk about get into your magical consciousness or your witchy whatever?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're talking about, is to kind of get yourself close or in that theta wave.
And I've found it now that I'm in that theta wave a lot more without even trying.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how everything feels.
Yes, that's how. Yep, that's a great description.
And it's.
Do you ever get the magnets in your head?
I feel like tingling, like it's weird.
Good.
Yeah.
It feels like magnets.
Have you ever had that?
I don't think so.
No, you'll get there as you open up more.
Huh.
And what about the movements in your meditations? Have you felt any stirrings?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. If I try to breathe deeper, I feel like a little more is happening inside.
My ears start ringing.
Good. Yeah. That happens.
They've been ringing a lot here the past couple days.
I've figured out, for me anyway, the right one ringing is like, the left one, when they both go off together, that is like, you know, like, that's what I've been able to figure out, you know. And you can kind of do your own trial and error and see if the same for you, because it probably will be the same. Because it seems like, that's why it's called, you know, a pathless truth. Because, you know, you can look at people like the preacher man and the monk and the whatever. They go through enough of these trials or enough of these things that give enough of these moments, and they end up shedding all of those labels and end up finding the same truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting. And that's also kind of what this journey is unbecoming. Because when you think about, who am I? Okay, Ebony, she's not a waitress. That's her job. She is a soul, a spark, as we all are, a spark of divine consciousness combined with the evolution. It's like consciousness is almost like we're living, like a star is dead. It's almost like this existence is almost like consciousness, like reverse engineering itself or watching its own evolution. And that's kind of like how we are sort of mirroring with the outside world. And that's why this practice, you know, has so many benefits, is because you can reach that still point in yourself to where you're not bringing chaos. Humanity cannot ever cease to exist. The cycle never ends because we are creating all of this. Everything. I'm creating you guys, you're creating me. We create our experiences. And the deeper you go, the more you really realize that. And so it gives you a stillness. So when you are, it changes everything around you. You can't change anything. I can't make Ebony do what's good for her, or I can't make you do what's good for you. I can't, you know, make anyone do anything except for myself. I can do what's right for me and hope that someone might see that example and want better for their life and go, hey, how did you do that? That's how it happens. And so, you know, when we talk about manifestation, it's if we want a new car or we need a new car, instead of going, I need a car, because we are magnets. Your thoughts, you're like a magic wand, your attention, whatever your attention is on is the focus, the tip of that wand. So if you're like, I need a car, the universe is going to say, well, you don't have it, so I'm going to give you more lack. It's just responding to what you are. So if you're grateful, then it attracts more to be grateful for. Even if you don't have enough, like she was in that mindset of abundance. You know, she's like, oh, do I have enough money to do this? And she's like, whatever, the universe provides. And it will provide because of that attitude. She's not in a space of need or lack. She's in a space of, I trust the process and I'm grateful that things work out. And that is the status of the high megas. That's the mindset of creating the world you want to live in.
I've heard that before, saying trust the process.
Yes. Yeah. And it is. It's like, if you don't even, like with your meditation journey, you know, it's like we normally, most people get into it, I want to become enlightened, or I want to, you know, whatever the goal is, or I want to get control over myself, which is the ultimate goal. That's like the best side effect. There are many side effects, as I like to call them, because normalcy and how they want us to feel, you know, feeling good is a side effect of that. You know, like it's the, you know, the adverse, which is good. We want side effects in this case. But it's like not attaching to the goal. Like, just go, okay, I know that whatever I wish to happen with this journey, I know that I will get there. I'm not concerned with it. Because when you get there, if you're not present in your experience on the way there to receive the awarenesses that you need, then when you get to the end, you won't get to the end, A, but if you were, what are you going to do? You don't know shit. Because you have no experience, you have no awareness. So, staying present in each moment, not worrying about the future or thinking about
All we
the
have
past.
is right now. All we have is right now.
It's everything is now. The future, the past, it's all now. Swirling. In that space between your breath. And it really, when you think about it though, when you come into awareness, your behaviors will change. Like, maybe something you thought was okay before, you realize, like, hey, that wasn't okay, you know? And there comes, guilt with realizations of the things that we've done when we realize and we look at self, when we realize that we may do things or have done things that we're not proud of. And acceptance, accept it completely. If you're angry, accept that moment completely. And just observe it. Don't become it. Just watch it. And that's, meditation gives you that stillness to where you can watch it instead of become it. Any questions?
I've seen sounds I like to hear.
It's basically everything that I've been walk, trying to walk,
I was,
you know what I'm saying?
trying to come the other day. I was like, you can't keep me from this.
I was just,
Yeah.
when I was like,
It's like I have a problem, like, all my life. Like, I grew up with, like, kids or whatever, and my friends, and one of my friends, like, he started practice, attending, like, I think it was called Sahaj Mar, and, like, he totally changed. Like, he went from this, like, hippie guy that we see at the, trying to quit smoking cigarettes to, like, he became, like, a surgeon. And, I mean, it was fantastic. And a couple times I had experiences with him where, I don't know how to describe it, like, it was phenomenal. He did some phenomenal work showing me at a young age that there was something to this, like, that, some things that you can't see or touch or feel, but maybe become, like, aware of, you know what I'm saying? And, like, fantastic, man. And the other day, I was like, Ebony was trying to show me, she's been trying to show me this, the Kundalini, the breath work, basically, and, like, we put it off a couple of days, whatever, and moment arised, and I was like open at that point too. And I was like, yeah, and I don't know if that was a bad decision because, like, the magic happened. Like,
No,
for once it did.
Well, you're highly conditioned and highly anxious, so those medicines, that's what they're there for, is to give you that moment.
And it was incredible. Like, I came out of it like physically not wanting to smoke cigarettes anymore, like feeling like I could totally do it, like something that's like I'm never gonna quit smoking, to being like it's just a matter of time,
right?
And like, but it's like I've always just can't get there on my own. Like, I don't know what it is, and then when I tried again, of course. It was nowhere near the same, and maybe I shouldn't have tried it that way the first time, but like I just want to get to the point where I'm reaping all the benefits I can from it, because I saw instantaneous, like, just clearness of mind and body, and
you had a moment
I was resolute. I mean, I was
this.
like, hey, I'm unemployed, I lost my job. You know what? It's cool, man. It's cool, because like the whole time, like, it's not been anything to worry about. Ebony's been there, bless her heart, holding me down, but like the whole time I'm watching her as well, because a lot of times she hadn't had it either, but it's like the whole way, it's like these, it's like here, take another step, and we just, and I'm just like, wow,
doing what the Lord wants me
maybe.
to do, and I told him not to worry. I said, don't worry about it. I just know I'm not going to worry. I'm not worried.
I'm used
I'm
to
not
going to
worried.
rent
And here I
office
go
every
get this
Saturday.
promotion.
Being
And
the
then
first one there
the
throwing
music's
money
coming
down,
back.
you know, like, to,
My
like,
singing's coming back. I'm getting my gigs back.
yeah, everything she talked about,
It's
like,
just-
they hadn't heard happen. And like, record time. Like, I mean, it was like,
manifesting.
I was like, wow.
I've been
Told you.
You know,
I'm glad we
was
had
wild,
that
dude. I mean,
3-hour conversation.
I mean,
Yes,
it
we
was-
did.
That
it
was
was amazing.
awesome.
But, you know, I want to be
It's
able
not over yet,
to
guys.
like get, I know. This is
It's just the tip.
just tip of the iceberg.
Just doing the right thing
But yeah,
and
it's,
becoming one
you know,
with the source and trying to strive to be better and
Definitely.
going back to
Right.
simplicity that entails freedom.
And at the same time, getting to know myself. Like,
And
as I know,
when you encounter these scary places in yourself, what drives you to do this habit and to escape, you know, or you've done something in the past that wasn't so great, maybe you betrayed someone, whatever the case is, at that moment is to accept it and forgive yourself and learn from it. Okay, what in me did this action? Why did I? Okay, I acknowledge it. How do I make it right? I know I don't do it again, for one. And then, you know, just forgiving yourself. You know, recognizing. And then go, okay, I was here. How did I get here? Okay, what part of this part that was here before is still here? And how do I unlearn those patterns? It's yourself. You know, the worshiper is that which is worshipped. That still small voice that we don't listen to, and you're about to show up at go to a party and you just have an inkling that you shouldn't go, but you go anyway and something bad happens. We didn't listen to God. So, but the movement starts usually in the root, okay? And what are chakras, right?
They are what I've been told, what I've learned, supposedly, I don't know how true this is, but the kundalini, or they call it like the spinal shrines. They're these places, power centers, basically along your spine. Basically, and each one has like a different tone, resonance, vibration, and a way of tapping into it, maybe. But it's where our like centers are, basically. The
Exactly.
power points along it.
Right, there are lights along the way. But see, they can, just like I taught him last weekend, we'll go over that, is, or you guys can watch the video. No, I didn't record it, so we'll have to go over it again, but how to clear them. But they are energy centers, but they can also be like pockets, and they collect debris. So the meditation clears that out. You know, those moments where you let someone take your power away, you let someone disempower you, and you ended up with low self-esteem because of it. A solar plexus, manipura. You know, so those instances will clear away. They'll come to awareness, let them go. So, root chakra, there's a lot that goes on there. It's the subconscious mind. Goes from here, subconscious, conscious, bridge the gap to in between. So, subconscious mind, as we mentioned, when the body is, when the center is out of alignment, you'll feel maybe some pain in the lower spine. That is fear regarding money or lack of financial support.
I felt that. I felt that when that shock was definitely.
Did your low spine go, uh-huh? Quit worrying.
My back, yes, yes.
Yeah. So when you feel that, acknowledge it, you know, and release it. You can, you know, do a stretch. You know, one thing that really, you know, helps is to stretch the spine. That's what, you know, yoga was kind of meant for, was to loosen. And that's like the movement of loosening that
I want to
consciousness.
come and do yoga. I miss the yoga.
It was fun last night. So the hips, fear of moving forward and fear of nothing to move forward to. You see how those are interlinked, right? When we're scared about money, we're like, oh God, I don't, you know, where can I go? You know, so you see how it all kind of interplays together. The fear of moving forward, you have no choice. You might try to stop, but you're something, whether it is the lower vibrational parts of yourself or your higher good, usually your higher good, you know, consciousness is begging to be unified. So the more you run from yourself, the more you're screwing everyone over in the long run. And the more you're going to get forced into that, can actually really attract bad situations, because we awaken through trauma, or we awaken through practice and surrender to ourselves and our practice, right? It's going to happen one way or the other. So there's no need to fear moving forward. That's just utter stupidity, because you're going to get there. There's no stopping it. Moving forward one way or the other, in this life or the next. And that's why, you know, when people call me and I've answered video calls with people with guns to their head and had to talk them out of it. And really, it's kind of like the soul is eternal. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You know, it's going to keep going. So if you were to off yourself, okay, and that's why end-of-life care is so important, because the last subconscious thoughts that you take out of this life help form the attractions that form your next life. That and your karma. So that trauma, you're going to have to face it in the next life. And whether, you know, you're a Christian-leaning person and you got the heaven and hell thing, soul's eternal, one way or the other. So you've got to deal with it in this life or the next. And usually when I tell them that, they're like, this guy put the gun down, and he was like, I was like, you can't get away from yourself. So stop, you know, making it hard on everyone else. You know, you can't escape it. You can't, so there's no use in fearing moving forward. Fear of nothing to move forward to. Well, isn't that what we want? Is to be nothing? I'm happy with being nothing. I'm happy with nothing to move forward to. I'm happy with nothing. So when we look at it as like, this is not something, you know, you know, these material things in the room, you know, oh, my next paycheck, I can get this, you know, something to look forward to, but it's a thing. It's not actually real. So nothing to move forward to. If we can totally flip the script on reality for ourselves by just going, I am nothing. Because we are nothing. Why are we afraid of being nothing? I'm not a teacher. I'm a soul. I'm nothing. I'm nothing and everything, as are you. So that's just kind of a cool little trick to let the fear go. Subconscious mind. The reason fear is just illogical, everything, is because the subconscious mind You know how, like, have you ever known something and you never learned it anywhere?
Yes.
Yep. Yep, we all have. Because the subconscious mind is like the mainframe of the computer or the hard drive. Like, all the information is stored there. Yours, his, yours, mine, it's all accessible to all of us. So there's really nothing to fear because there's nothing unknown. And are we really afraid of what's unknown? Or are we afraid of the absence of what we think we know?
Definitely the latter. That's me. That's me. The latter, the conditioned to, been conditioned.
Yes.
I've been programmed. So it's like, you know, with age, you know, I mean, I used to be able to, like, just go, drop everything and go to California. Jump in a van with guitars and CDs or something.
Yeah, I went to a rave back in '96 and ended up in Texas.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
like,
you know, like.
You know, but now as I'm older, I'm like, well, let's have certain creature comforts, I guess you'd call them, or I've been conditioned, you know.
To not be free, to be bound to
Bound by.
Yeah.
Right.
Stuck in the rat race.
An air conditioner, or, you know, a 2-liter Coke, or whatever, pack of cigarettes, whatever, you know what I mean? So.
Exactly. There's nothing to fear. Nothing is unknown. If you sit down and you silence the mind, that idiot.
That's the hard part.
If you silence the mind, then there is all the silence that is the information. It's all just levels of consciousness. Like the 7 chakras are levels of our consciousness. If you look at dimensional theory, there are 11 dimensions, so they say, right? So you have 7 centers. You actually have 11 holes in your body. They say 9, but it's 11. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? 8. Women, we have a urethra and a vaginal opening. So that's 7, 8, 9. The anus is 10. The belly button is 11.
Wow. Gotta think about the belly button.
No.
This is where
little closed
this
off,
is our
but it's
means
still
of
whole.
sustenance when we were in the womb.
This is
Yeah,
your
it's very important.
dantian. This is your seat of intuition. And that's above the subconscious is the intuition. So when we let go of the fear and we clear out that root, then we pave the way to open the sacred sacral of the intuition. And it works up in a process, each opening to the next. All 11 of those dimensions are inside you. And the meditation and going within is how to access it. It's really, it's profound. So letting go, like if you don't know something, okay, you figure it out, who cares? You know? Or I know this and I don't want, you know, like, oh my gosh, we believe things and then a fact comes along. I would hate that, right? I hate that. I can't stand that. But it happens. Beliefs are imaginary. They change. You know, you can be converted from one religion to the next. But truth, you can believe it or not.
It speaks for itself. Yeah.
Huh?
It speaks for itself.
Yeah. So, the organs involved in this: spine, bladder, blood, kidneys, male reproductive,
The blood
vaginal,
is where I have issues.
legs and feet.
I have blood issues.
Ooh,
And
girl.
sickle cell trait,
Anemia.
and iron deficient anemia.
Yeah.
You know, I have those issues now. That can be remedied with diet.
Right.
And now the symptoms from the sickle cell, the trait, that takes some learning. but I'm working through it. I didn't realize there were symptoms until a few years ago.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think about how many people walk around feeling terrible, and they're conditioned to think it's okay?
Horrible, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
your blood, that is your river of life. Your river connecting everything that feeds everything, right? So letting go of the fear and nurturing that chakra. You unblock. The fear makes a dam. The river can't flow. Kidneys, if you have issues with blood, it's going to weaken everything. So you have to keep your diet because it's going to affect more than just these organs. It affects the whole body
My
and
feet here lately.
the type of nutrients that your body needs to function and the quality and the way they were able to receive them. It's all carried through the blood.
I could do better, so much better if I just went vegan. I know, I'm being pulled to it.
And you can get iron with like spinach, kale, things like that. Healthy roots. Let's finish whatever it is.
I'm sorry, I just keep...
No, you're good. The knees. When your ego steps in and you become immovable, not in a good way, like in a way that you're limiting yourself. Somebody like you're doing this thing this way, it's wrong, and somebody tries to come and they're like, hey, I see you're struggling with that. Can I give you a different perspective? And you're like, no, this is the way it's done, and I'm doing it this way. Knees. Inability to bend. So, that's stubborn pride. Stubborn pride, man, that kills us. Guilt. The ability to receive pleasure is the ankles. And flexibility as well. So, how many of us have been conditioned that it's wrong for us to receive pleasure, that we should give it to others, that we should put others before ourselves?
That's my whole life.
Yeah, get rid of that. You have weak ankles too, don't you?
Very weak.
It's not being selfish, being selfish.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Be selfish. Be of self. When we're like 6-ish is like of 6, right? Selfish. Be of self. Don't be self-centered. The world isn't, your world revolves around you. You are the entire world because you are your world. But everybody else's world doesn't revolve around you. So we can't be self-centered, but we need to be selfish.
I'm learning.
If your cup isn't full, you cannot pour for other people. Only for so long. And then you have nothing even to give yourself. So if your cup is filled, then you can deal with other people. And that's hard for us. So it's like a reminder that we have to give ourselves all the time. Constant self-inquiry. Healthy roots, balanced, grounded, belonging to the world. So everybody stand up. All right. Stand on one leg. Stand on your right leg.
I'm having issues with my feet.
Find a point on the wall.
You know, I was having problems with this before. My feet are hurting so bad.
Good. You're all pretty grounded. This is a good way to tell. You know, when you're feeling kind of, you can put it down now. When you're kind of feeling off center, do that. Just stand on one leg, make yourself stand there, and look. You know, and it'll help ground you in. You can do it when you're cooking dinner. You know, standing there, stirring your stove.
I do it all the time.
I do.
I like,
brush my teeth.
I'm like the hangman. I'm like, I'll be sitting there like, you know.
So, that's something, when you're feeling balanced and grounded, when you feel settled, when you feel like, something's not going to come around, blow you off, like you're not going to move. Belonging to the world. We discussed this last week, but this is so important. When people say this, I just don't belong in this world. That's as if everyone belongs in this world. You just don't belong in the world you're choosing to put yourself in. And you need to pick a different world for yourself and create your own world of peace. But when someone says, I don't belong in this world, they were probably also, came from a family. They're a little bit more involved in their family. Or they're different in some way, and the family makes them feel like they don't belong. That breeds that. And it's the constant reassurance with yourself that wherever you are is where you belong. And sometimes you get in a space where you don't belong in that space. It's best for you to leave. Mm-hmm. It's discernment to know the difference.
Oh, yeah. We don't want this energy. This is not me. Bye, guys.
Right? Exactly.
All the time.
Y'all can sit down. I'm so sorry. Trusting, independent, alive, poised. When you feel like you're able to trust, and don't go out, I'm looking for someone to trust. Don't ever go looking for anything. Don't chase. Where the lines comes. But the being able to trust, you might have been in a relationship, you were cheated on, so you're like, I can't trust anyone right now. Your root's off balance. Recenter. Get in there. Clear it out. It's like when we learn to trust ourselves through this process, then you learn who you can trust. Because you'll have found everything in them that you've already found in yourself. Those good qualities, the bad qualities, and then you can step into the non-dual observance. Independent. When you're feeling like you don't, it's not like, I don't need anyone. It's, I'm okay by myself. I'll figure out a way to make it. I don't need another person. No one needs another person. That is just, we need each other as people. That is our evolution. But we don't need to become codependent. Interdependent is where you might have a relationship. You've got a man and a wife, or a boyfriend and a girl, whatever. And then, one of them is insecure. So he might have had a bad experience. So he's going to take, and the girl can't even go to the convenience store without the back on. Who are you? That's codependency. To go, oh, I'm sad because my beloved's not here. I'm like, they're not here. I'm going to go do my thing.
Right.
I'll catch you later. I didn't bring my phone, whatever, I don't care. That's why I'm celibate. I don't deal with people. Especially people in my personal space at all. Spiritual journey, that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When you feel alive, and you're like, yeah. You walk by that tree and you're like, that's a sexy tree right there.
Did it yesterday.
You look and you,
did.
it's, you look at the world and you appreciate it. You feel alive.
Mm-hmm. Just like the day, what day was that? Was that Monday or Tuesday? It was so beautiful. Everything seemed surreal. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, you can really feel the planet.
Yeah.
You can actually feel it. It was so pretty. I was just like, it was just so, it might have been Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right?
It was one of those days. It was so beautiful.
Unbalanced root. When you are off balance and this center is going haywire, and this means there's not enough energy. right, is when it's unbalanced, or unbalanced means there's an overabundance. Too much going on there. That's when you're going to feel like overactive. Like you can't sit still. You gotta, just doing stuff that doesn't even need to be done.
Right.
Or worrying about stuff that you can't get done. You're overactive. Or you become bossy. Instead of, will you hand me that, please? It's, give me that. See the difference? You'll become bossy. Domineering, trying to move. Like, I think my friend should, not do this, and they should do this.
Maneuvering and
Yeah. So, big ego. When the ego gets big, well, nobody can tell me anything. I know it all. That's unbalanced group. When you find people, or yourself, if you're ever feeling cunning or greedy, we've all been there. We've all had a moment. Or when you get violent, when, you just had enough, and somebody maybe talking, you just throw the phone down. Violence. Yeah, that's when you gotta sink into that peace. That means there's too much going on. So at that point, center into your breath, and chakra clearing is, and I was telling him, is sitting. I like this posture even for this, because you can use the fingers to count your breath. You're going to do 25 long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And what I do is I kind of put my attention, okay, 1, 2, so what I'm on. And then you're using the breath, breathing the breath into the root, and using the breath to carry it back out. You do that 25 times. By the end of it, you'll feel very light, kind of cleared out, calm. And that overabundance of energy is gone. So, underactive, if you find yourself feeling unloved, or sexual inadequacy, we've all maybe experienced that, like maybe my partner is not happy or whatever. That means that you don't have enough energy in that root. And that's when you can use the same kind of technique, but instead of using the breath and the intention to clear, you're using it to draw from the source, breathe it in, breathe in that energy, and maybe go eat some red foods. Each color has sound. It has a frequency. In each, different type of color food, they have different phytonutrients that nurture those organs and those things associated with the centers.
We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was yellow, isn't it? Mine was yellow. It wasn't orange. It was yellow. Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to remember our conversation that one night.
Frustration. When you find yourself frustrated, that's not enough root energy. Unsure, fearful, and shy. That means that you need to charge up that root. And then it can be done by just sitting down and going, what am I afraid of? Nothing. Conversations we have with ourselves. What?
It's that simple, huh?
Yeah, it's not, but it is. It's constant.
That's all I need to tell myself.
Well, okay, according to, science and I'm also a hypnotherapist, so it takes about 400 repetitions to cause change in the mind. 20 repetitions if you are in a state of play when the programming material is incoming. So if you really want to, make a change in the world, it starts with you. So repeating something to yourself. After 400 times, you'll start to see it a little bit more. Conversations with yourself, waking up in the morning going, today I'm going to choose myself. I'm not going to people please, or whatever issue that you're trying to deal with. After about a year and some time, some days, really things start to change, and that's like this meditation. At that point, it's not, and even then, it's just the beginning. It's really interesting. So when you're building healthy habits, healthy meditation habits, wellness, awareness, mindfulness habits, that repetition is really important. Any questions? So
I'm sure I will have fun as time goes on.
So ways to, like I said, the clearing method, eating some red foods, maybe putting on a red sweater, whatever, just kind of get into that. Because red is like, we associate red with courage. Courage is the opposite of fear. So, conditioning, repeating, reprogramming yourself. Your mind is a computer. The self is the programmer. So you can program bit by bit. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a really slow journey. Faster and slower. Sometimes it happens. It depends on when a person is ready to come into that evolution. But this kind of jump starts it. Like, nope, you decide to sit down and give that dedication to yourself every day. You've made the journey. You've decided it. So. What time is it?
6:04.
Oh. All right. So, anxiety management. What I taught them is a method that I came up with where when that panic moment starts to occur, the anxiety, the mind starts chasing itself, dog chasing its tail. We dissociate, not in a good way. And so to bring it back, grounding is to just start breathing, counting the inhales and exhale, breathe into a count of 4, out to a count of 4, whatever, and start tapping. Then, after a couple of breaths, then you want to involve your inner sight to see yourself as something that is immovable. Mountain, tree, whatever, building, doesn't matter. Something big. Or something that people have to go around. And then you can involve your internal dialect to say, I can't control what's moving, I can only control my reaction, and choose not to react, but instead respond. Then it disrupts that chasing, grounds you back into the body, and you begin to start dictating what you're seeing, what you're saying to yourself. So you just took control away from this running toddler that is your mind. You tricked yourself into giving yourself control. So that's a really effective tool, like for those moments where you might have a trigger, have a panic attack, something like that. And let's take a few minutes. We're about 15 minutes towards the end, so the last 15 minutes of class, we'll meditate. So get comfortable and get into your position and take this time for yourself. And while you guys do that, I'm going to excuse myself, use the restroom, and come back. right?
That's weird, man. It's like seeing like colors. Like I was trying to keep my eyes completely shut, but it
Ooh,
was
good.
like it was like ultraviolet, like pink, and like would go to like the light bulbs in my room, kind of like an electric blue, like and I was like, so I was sitting there, I was like, my room, like where is this coming from?
That's the
And
doorway.
I was like, what is this? 'Cause, yeah, I don't know if it was just like not closing my eyes all the way, but like
No.
it was like a portal almost, like circle.
That
Like,
is
almost
that is it.
I wanted to say like I saw like white, like these white hands, like I don't know.
Sort of like a tunnel.
It's kind of, definitely. But like I kept seeing like,
Follow the
like
rabbit
this,
hole.
This like.
And how are you guys? Are you guys down for like joining hands and us? Now, there's a difference. Like meditation by yourself should always be done by yourself. Coming together with others, combining your energies and your intentions, something totally different. But I thought it would be really nice to end each class with everyone joining together to spend a moment of meditation on peace for humanity. All right?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Same as before, just see your breath circling in the eye. When you feel yourself starting to relax, just envision the world and like we clear our chakras with our breath. All the discord and hatred is cleared away and it's replaced with the inhale or the exhale of our divine light and finding the peace within ourselves and that it echoes into the world.
felt like I was connected, but like it was like I almost like was still here, but like I let go,
That is it.
seeing,
Meditation happens in that space, like you're about to fall asleep, where you're aware of everything in the room, like you don't even feel your body, like, but you know you're there. That's meditation.
That's what I've tried to do it. She was telling me about posture, but like, you know, when I'm laying down, I'm a bit flat. I got like my head kicked up like that, like I come close to kind of like what I just experienced now. But it might just be my body turning off.
So do you feel the difference of like meditating with others and then by yourself?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I feel more energized
Because we were all like,
together.
yeah. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah, your hand was warm, your hand was cold. I kind of felt like energy was going in that direction.
it was.
Oh,
I
okay.
could see it was like dark red, like this swirling, like, man, it was like black, like a plane almost, like a grid almost, like stretching out to like this, like dark red crimson almost, like weird. I mean,
That's the root. What about you?
it's amazing. I gotta keep trying this.
Yeah.
I think I just need to do it longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I'll be like sitting there, and it's so easy to get distracted. Like,
Yeah, sit
I'm like
first.
you, like I'm quiet.
Right.
So like the little fans going on, I'm gonna turn it off.
Just sit for as
Yeah.
long as you need to.
I'll be
See
trying to
what's
breathe, but
happening.
it's like once I mean like what happened this year and before that was like almost like getting submerged, like underwater, like almost like it's. Like when I did it the other night, it was weird. It was like I popped through like an ice barrier, like into this new like world, and was like I was like, oh my god, and like I was like inside myself. But it was, you know, I feel like I need guidance because I don't know what I'm doing, and like, but I inkling an idea, but it's like.
Just to let someone know what you're experiencing.
I'm like,
you're not gonna die. It's okay.
No, it's just trying to get there. I mean, you know, I have friends for many years, dude. They were heavily involved in drugs, dude. So was I. But man, fire off meditation.
You will.
Not ever have off drugs. I was like, no way, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. But like, I experienced stuff. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like trying to like get to a transcendental state of like enlightenment without a vehicle.
You
know what
are
I'm
the
saying? Like
vehicle.
yeah, right. That too. That like normally to get me there easily. It's like repetition, transcendental music. Or, whatever. So that, like being able to attain it just by like closing my eyes and like breathing. That's amazing. That's what I want to be doing,
I feel like you're finding the power within when you do that. When I've done psychedelics and I've had, some kind of out-of-body experience. I've had some pretty amazing experiences, and then sometimes, sometimes you can get a little paranoid sometimes, but the visuals and stuff, that's a little bit different. It feels like it's something
Inside.
that's what I was like. I've never like experienced that without like
right.
the aid of some substance.
Right. That's what I think is so amazing is that you kind of, with meditation, you find yourself.
Yeah.
You're able to kind of look deep within. And I find that amazing because, psychedelics have helped me, have an open mind. But it's like you still aren't listening to yourself I guess the same way as when you just kind of like
Exactly.
ground
Tap
yourself,
into
tap into yourself,
the
just
source.
naturally
Yeah.
on its own.
That's what I was telling her. I was like, I don't think I should have my first time done it like that, because like I was literally like that one night, and then it was weird because it was like I maybe paid, like all this weird stuff was going through my head. I was like, man, I feel myself just like breathing and like getting there when I'm not trying to. It's like, how do I turn it off now? You know, I was like, man, how do I? When I breathe, dude, I'm mostly breathing through my nose. Man, did I ever breathe through my mouth? Yeah. So it was like, you know, I was just having a moment, dude. I was like, Ebony, she's in another room sleeping. I'm like, how do you hit the pause button? You know what I mean? Or like, how do you, you know, she's dead asleep. I'm like, you know.
What about you?
I started as a human, and then I morphed into an elephant, then a giraffe, and then a lion, and then from the lion I was a triceratops, and I worked my way down into I was a fish in the water, and I came up.
Oh, you saw your
De-evolutionized.
And then I was on this white plane, and everything was like, kinda, yeah.
like translucent.
Yeah, and it was like, I guess it was on like a sand, it wasn't sand. I was somewhere. I was somewhere. It went on forever, it was infinite. It was like the beginning.
Wow.
Silence.
That's awesome.
It was like, it was white.
Like,
It was, and then there was somebody coming toward me, but they were translucent. All I saw was like the outline of their body, and they were running toward me like really fast.
Man, I want to be in your head. I want
that's
to
yourself running towards yourself.
Like they were,
Ah.
it was weird.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
When
you.
I was
That
in the
was-
water. I was a fish at one. It was weird. It was this thing. It was pink and white, and it had all kinds of. It was weird looking. It was weird. I know it was a triceratops. I could see. It was like running through a field. I just.
A dinosaur?
I went, dinosaur, and then went into the water, and then I rose up out of the water. It was weird.
Hey, man, you know,
You just
skill
saw
came.
your evolution.
Yeah, it seems like you just connected to some ancient energies.
Like,
Connected to the path your soul took to get here. That we all take to get
I
here.
was an elephant.
what do you call that? Like the
Amazing.
Akashic.
Who was
what
an
do you call it?
elephant?
The Akashic record or something. Like, what do they call it?
That's
Like
the
this is like
subconscious mind.
of like everything culminated up
That's the
into.
subconscious mind. You just gotta learn how to get in there.
I want to be triceratops, and then I want.
I think
I
that's
wanna
what
be-
you call it. The thing with the big two horns?
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
one of those.
yeah, triceratops.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's
It's
just,
got a horn on
That
its
and
nose.
the-
to the bottom.
and I was something else. And then that would go,
No one ever.
and I was something else. And like as I was running through a field, I just kept shedding the skin, and that would be something else, and I was devolving. It was weird.
It's like that movie we saw the other night. That we saw, like, or where he moves. That's awesome. It's got a nice vibration to it.
Yeah.
A nice tone too. I mean,
Yeah, it is a
like
warm
it's
sound.
like
I love the ball.
single.
And as we part, may we lead by the frequency of our heart.
like stirring the sound.
This awesomest singing ball thing I've ever seen. Like everyone I've seen has been like metal.
I want to
yeah,
that's
do
beautiful.
like
We're
next week.
having one India from India. She's coming to do one on Thursday. She's only charging $15.
Really? On Thursday.
For
Thursday night.
For sound.
For sound.
Oh, healing.
And then we have one on the 30th with Katie.
There's some really good frequencies.
Yeah,
on
I've always wanted to meet India.
Yeah, come on Thursday night.
Thursday.
What time?
It's I had to check if it's 6 or 6:30.
Okay, I should be able to make it. I just want
You want to go?
to find some higher
right
vibration.
now
Right.
from what would take.
I feel like that raised my vibration.
It did.
That was awesome.
Thank you guys for sharing sacred
Thank
space.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you, T.
I love you too.